there are 4 word problems.
Okay.
And 8 regular problems.
Okay.
So I'll do that 1 second. Let me sharpen my pencil.
Okay.
Okay. So the first one is, the first 4 are really, really easy.
Okay.
But, so the first one is x plus 2 equals 13. And then you get, x, and then you get x equals 11.
Okay.
Next one is x minus 7 equals 10. Then you get x equals 17. And then you do 3x equals 18. And you divide by 3 and get 6. And then the next one is just x over 5 equals 6. And so you multiply both sides by 5 and get 30.
Okay.
Then these next ones are still pretty easy but harder. You get x equals negative 2x minus 21.
Okay.
So I add 2x to both sides, and you get 3x equals negative 21. Divide both sides by 3. You get x equals negative 7.
Okay.
So then next one is negative 3x equals 4x minus 14. You add 4x. X equals negative 14.
Hold on. You gotta subtract 4x.
Oh. Okay.
Remember, you always do the opposite.
Yeah.
So we got minus 7x equals minus 14.
Yeah. And so then divide both sides by minus 7. And you get x equals 2.
Okay.
Then we have 5p minus 11 equals 9p plus 17. So I added 11 to both sides.
Okay.
And then, wait, one moment. One moment. I have to get the door.
That's fine.
Wait, nope, never mind. My mom's got it. Okay.
So you added 11 to both sides. What about the p's?
And then you subtract 9p from both sides.
So what's the next line?
Negative 4p equals 28.
Okay.
Then you divide both sides by negative 4. You get p equals negative 7.
Okay.
The next one is 3.8b plus 7 equals negative 8.2b plus 7d.
Did I write that right?
Yeah. Wait, no, plus 70 with 0. It's a regular 70.
As opposed to what I wrote?
It's it's not 70, it's like 10 times 7, 70.
70D?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. 70D.
Yeah.
Okay.
No. There's no D.
7D.
Yeah.
7. Now I understand why I made 7T, 7D. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So, first I would add 8.2 to both sides.
Okay.
8.2D. And then you get 12D equals, and then that's from both sides. So 12D equals 63.
Okay.
Then you divide by 12, and you get, one moment, let me think. Not 5. Oh.
Okay. This answer probably isn't very satisfactory because of that 3/12 can be reduced to a quarter. So I like this answer a lot better, even though they're the same number. You might not have lost points if you'd have put that answer on there.
Yeah. Okay. So -7 plus 6 equals -3, and in parentheses 3n plus 10.
Okay, that one I didn't understand anything because of the audio problems.
Okay.
Let's hold on a second. Let's use this technique that I thought about. Do you have a phone number that you can use as a speakerphone? So that we can communicate by phone.
What was that?
If you can give me a phone number that I'll call, we'll be able to talk by way of the phone, and we'll still have the go-to-meeting aspect.
Okay.
Let's try it. Tell me what phone number I can call, but it has to be one that you can use the speaker system on it.
Yeah, 303-933-0022. My other phone does have like my cell phone does have a speaker, but it's not as good.
Right. Okay, let's try this. Let me use.
So should I mute?
I'm trying to think.
Should I mute sound on my end?
You might want to change it to telephone instead of mic and speakers. Yeah, but don't do it yet.
Okay.
I gotta make this call. I gotta make sure I can make this call because I have to do it with something other than my phone also. I gotta use it using Google Phone. Okay.
What was that?
Well, I'll let you know instantly here. Let's see if this calls.
It's answered.
David?
Yeah. Should I turn on the telephone now?
Yes. Go ahead and set your audio switch to telephone instead of mic and speakers. Okay. Now can you hear me okay?
Yeah, that's much better.
It is much better, isn't it? Wow. I should do this with everybody.
Yeah. Okay. So, the next one we have is -7n plus 6 equals -3n plus 10.
Okay.
Oh. Sorry about that. Equals 3 and then in -3 and then in parentheses 3n plus 10.
Okay. Like that?
Yes.
Okay.
So first thing you got to do is distribute.
Okay.
-9n minus 30. and then you have to combine like terms.
Okay.
So add 9n and then subtract 6.
Okay, what do you get next?
And then you get 2n equals, negative 36.
Okay.
Then you divide and get n equals negative 18.
Okay, very good.
So the next thing, the next problem is x and then 6 and then in parentheses y minus 5 equals minus 2 5 and then in parentheses 5y minus 1.
I think I left something off from the left side of the equation. What was in front of the parentheses?
A 6.
A sixth?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, 1, like 6, 1, just 1. Here, 1 second. I'm going to put it in the chat. Just 6.
Oh, just 6.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
well, you've got to distribute first.
Okay.
You get 5 minus 30 equals negative 10y plus 2.
Okay.
So then you distribute, and if you want to keep it positive, you add 30 and then 10y.
Okay.
So you get 16y equals 32. Divide by 16, and then you get y equals 2.
I think you got these equations down pretty good, these linear equations.
Yeah. So then, should we start on the word problems?
Sure.
You have 7 new emails in your inbox. The total number of emails in your inbox is 22. Write and solve an equation to find the number of emails E in your inbox that have already been read. So it would be 7 plus...
Well, start with the first piece of information they gave you. You have 22 emails.
Yeah, so you have 22 emails.
Or
And then
7 of them are new?
7 of them are unread and new, yeah.
Okay. So I could say the following. I could say E, the number of unread emails, plus 7, the number of read emails, has to equal 22. Right?
Yeah.
So how many read emails were there?
So there were 22. Oh, okay. I see what you did.
Mm-hmm.
So E plus 7 equals 22.
Right.
You subtract 7 from both sides, and you get E equals 15.
Right, which you knew all along inside your head, but you maybe didn't know how to set it up exactly as an equation. So the trick on these word problems isn't solving it, it's setting it up. Okay, what's the next one?
You have completed 1/4 of a bike race. Write and solve an equation to find the total distance D of the race if you have already biked 6 miles.
6 miles?
Yes.
Okay. What equation can I write?
So it would equal...
You got to start, you can't start with an equal sign. In other words, when you're going to write an equation, you need something on the left side of the equation, an equal sign, and then something on the right side of the equation.
So 1/4 equals 6D.
Almost. 1/4 D equals 6.
Oh! I see, because the total distance
Right.
filed is 1/4
Exactly.
of...
And you've done 1/4 of the total distance. So the word of in word problems means multiply.
Okay.
When they say you've done 1/4 of the total distance, the equation's going to be 1/4 times D equals 6. So what is D?
So D equals 25.
24.
Oh, that's what I
Yeah,
meant to say,
I know.
but yeah.
Okay.
So then the next one is, you start a business making painted flower containers. You spend $300 on paint and 5 containers. You charge $20 per container. How many containers do you have to sell to break even?
So you spent $300 on paint and 5 containers. Is that correct?
And $5 on each container. Yeah. But it'd be 300 equals paint and $5 equals containers.
So the best way to start a word problem is to define a variable and what it's equal to. Okay, so let's let X equal the number of containers that you're going to sell.
So X equals containers.
Okay, so what is our total cost? How many boy, this problem confuses me. I'm not sure if I'm not looking at it right. Would you reread it again?
You start a business making painted flower containers. You spend $300 on paint and 5 on each container. You charge $20 per container.
Okay.
How many containers do you have to sell to break even?
Okay. So what's our total cost of the business?
So the total cost of the business is
It's $300 for the paint.
300 plus 5x.
So that's our total expenses. And we want that to equal our total income. What do we sell each container for?
$20.
There's our total income.
Oh.
In other words, to break even, what we take in has to equal what we spend. So there's the equation, and now solving that equation, if we subtract 5x from both sides, we get 15x equals 300, x equals
Oh, okay. X equals 60. Wait,
20.
no.
20.
20. Yeah.
So we have to sell 20 containers to break even. And now let's look at that. I'm sorry, 20 containers, not $20. We're going to sell 20 containers, and does that break us even? We're going to get $20 for each container, so we're going to get $400. And what did we spend? We spent $300 plus $5 times 20 containers, that's another 100, so we spent $400 also. So 400 equals 400, we broke even. if we sell exactly 20 containers for $20 each?
So the next one is there are 322 students in the 7th grade at your school. There are 48 more girls than boys. How many of each are in the 7th grade?
Okay. What's the variable?
The variable would be how many students in each.
The variable would be either the number of girls or the number of boys. Let's say the number of girls.
Okay.
And spell it out. When you do that first step on a word problem, very, very helpful if this is always your first step. Define a variable and say exactly what it is. So the number of girls. So how many boys do we have?
Well, you have to do x over 2 minus 48 equals 322.
Well, how about just x minus 48 would be the number of boys?
Oh.
Right? In other words, if there's 48 more girls than boys and there's 100 girls, there's going to be 52 boys. If there's 49 girls, there's going to be 1 boy. So we can define both variables using one variable. In other words, we can define both things using one variable only. Now we still need one more equation. What's the final equation that's going to let us solve for x?
One moment.
This is the other piece of information we have. There's 322 students.
Wait, but isn't that a problem? I think I see. Wait, never mind.
It's
Never
all
mind,
right.
I don't.
It's all right. I'm glad to see you thinking.
Okay. Because I did x minus 48 equals 322, and then...
No, but it's not the number of boys that equals 322. It's the number of girls plus the number of boys.
So, x plus x minus 48 equals 322.
Exactly. That becomes 2x equals 370, right?
Mm-hmm.
By adding 48 to both sides. So x equals 185. And remember, x is the number of girls. So there's 185 girls. We were told there were 48 less boys, so there must be 137 boys. Does that total 322?
Yep.
That's our answer. Fits both conditions. Now, alternatively, I could have said the number of boys was x, and the number of girls would be x plus 48. But then my answer would have been 137 for x, which has still been correct because that was the number of boys. So it's very important to spell out what that variable is, because in this case I could have let it be boys or girls. Changes the equation a little bit. Still gives you the same answer. You're still going to have 137 boys and 185 girls. It's just that if I would have let x be the number of boys and solved, my x would have turned out to be 137, not 185.
Yeah. So, what is another way to be the, like, why do we have to use that? Because wouldn't another way to do this equation would be 322 divided by 2 minus 48 equals boys, and then 322 divided by 2 equals girls.
I don't know. Where'd you get those from?
Well, I just kind of thought about it.
Well, you can't do it that way. In other words, this is the total students, so dividing them in half doesn't really make sense.
Well,
There are not an equal number of boys and girls. If there were, you might want to divide that in half.
Yeah, I know, but that's why you subtract 48.
Yeah, but you can't, there's no rationale to dividing the total number of students by 2. This is why you need to use variables and set it up as an equation, because it really does take an algebraic equation to solve this. Notice that what you gave me didn't have any variables in it. That is not equal to anything. That's not equal to the number of boys or the number of girls. Okay, in other words, we need algebra to solve this. So we could have said, let's do it the other way. X is the number of boys. What's the number of girls if X is the number of boys?
X plus 48.
Okay, now let's solve it. Number of girls plus number of boys equals 322. 2x would then equal 274. X equals 137. And that is the number of boys. 137 boys. Add 48 to that, you get 185 girls. Same thing we came up with the first time. So there's more than one way to do these word problems. It's not cast in stone. In other words, I can let X equal the number of boys, or I can let X equal the number of girls. Gives you the same answer regardless. But whenever you have a word problem that's an algebra word problem, always know that there's going to be a variable in there. So you can't come up with an expression that doesn't have a variable, like 322 divided by 2 minus 48. Just know that at this level that you're in, you're not going to be able to solve these without introducing a variable.
Okay, but now we have a problem because I had a sub today, so she couldn't tell me extra material.
Okay.
And so the practice was all I had.
That's fine. We don't have to have a full hour session either. We can end it at a half hour. I'll only charge your mom for a half hour session. I'm perfectly fine with doing that. I actually use 30 minutes as a minimum on my online sessions, and I have other students that do half hour sessions. So I have no problem with that. I mean, we don't need to just kill time.
Yeah. And I raised my grade in math up to an A.
Well, good. Good for you. I'm not surprised at all, because most of the time we're doing stuff, you make very few mistakes. So that's good to know.
I also got an A on the most recent quiz.
Okay. Very good. Very good. Just a word of warning. Well, you won't encounter it for a couple years, but when you get into 9th grade, they're going to force you to buy that Inspire CX.
Yeah.
So, if you want to play with a really cool calculator, borrow your sister's sometime and play. Oh, she has it, doesn't she? No, she doesn't, does she?
Yeah, she does.
She does have it. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
It is the coolest calculator I've ever seen. And if you like math and you like numbers, you can have a lot of fun just playing with it. But you'll want to get good at it. It's not easy to get good. It's pretty hard to master it. It's not that similar to the TI-84, which was kind of the calculator everybody used before this one came out.
Yeah, that's the one that I have.
Right. Well, this one is going to require a learning curve, and you don't need to worry about it yet. You got a couple years before you're going to need to do it. just thought I'd throw it out there. If you want to play around with a calculator, it wouldn't be wasted time to play around with that Inspire CX. All right, well, why don't we call it a session tonight, and I'll just mark it down as a half hour and
Okay.
let your mom know.
Cool.
So forth. So I will talk to you next Wednesday, David.
Okay.
Congratulations on your improved grade.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.
Bye.